Joan and Chock are engaged.
Engaged!
And their unofficial celebrity couple name is Choan. I came up with that. You are watching Reader Seeks Romance Channel's Romance Recap. And we're discussing and dissecting the season 1 finale of The Golden Bachelorette with Joan Vassos. I am Liz Donatelli.
And I'm Tiffany Current.
Be sure to subscribe to Reader Seeks Romance Channel because you don't want to miss upcoming episodes of Romance Recap on YouTube. Tiffany, finale, one word.
Complete. Because we are completely done. Finally. No surprises. What about you?
Done. Because
Okay, I like it.
done,
It's stronger.
and when I mean done, I'm like, I'm done with people not picking who I think they should pick. I'm done with it.
You didn't think she should have picked Chock. Chock was the only person she should have picked. Guy?
No, well, in retrospect, we know that Guy had some legal issues.
Yes, yeah.
But I really think she should have just stuck with Pascal and said, hey, listen, I just want to date you. No commitment. Let's just have fun.
Okay, wow. I disagree because I think Pascal gave her a hard no and said that he's not into her that way. But I think she should have picked Chock, but not have gotten engaged. So, spoiler alert to everyone watching, they got engaged. Engaged! She picked Chock, not a spoiler.
No surprises at all. Here's the thing. I felt very confident by the end that, okay, Joan believes she picked the right person for her, Chock. But, and I'm skipping ahead because I feel like, why not? At the live finale, Joan joins Guy in the hot seat and Jesse's asking questions.
Yeah.
And Joan says to Guy that she was getting there with him. And the only thing against them was time. And that she just got there, quote unquote, there faster with Chock. And to me, that wasn't a strong endorsement. She just kept saying, oh, my heart belongs to Chock. My heart belongs to Chock. But I never heard her say, I am deeply in love with him more so than you. And I'm moving on. You know, it was just like, well, we ran out of time and Chock offered me a place in New York, which is a whole other thing.
Look, I think she was letting him down kindly because she knows how emotional he is. I say, let's get in the episode. We open on sad music. Joan is down in the dumps because Pascal rejected her. And once again, we have Nancy coming in. I don't know if they're setting her up to the next Golden Bachelorette. I was like, enough with this, Nancy. Nancy's a very nice lady. Enough with it. Pascal dumped you. Move on. You have two other men that love you. I don't know.
They're pushing Nancy for some agenda. I don't know if it is for Bachelorette because typically they would pick the Bachelorette from the most recent season of Golden Bachelor.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if they're going to start a show with her, a podcast. I don't know what ABC or Bachelor Nation or the Golden franchise has in store for Nancy, but you're right. It's a little bit. Now, Nancy also gave a lot of great feedback. And I'm like, how much of this was like written up by producers? Because it was like, oh, she's this like relationship guru of sorts.
I know. Yeah. I don't remember what Nancy did as a job, but it was a lot. Either way, whatever she said, it made Joan feel better. And then she went on to her family date with Chock. And I gotta just say, first of all, I was like, it's not a cruise ship. That's the first time I think they've ever done a family meet and greet on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Weird location. What do people get seasick? Don't get it.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an awkward family meeting. Did you? I thought it was like, and part of it might be because their dad just died a couple years ago. It's still fresh. So I think part of it is because of that, but it felt awkward to me. It felt awkward.
We're both thinking of the same moment. I know it because when it happened, your face flashed in front of my eyes.
What is happening?
And I said, Tiffany is probably cringing as hard as I am right now. Can we talk about the cringe moment that happened?
Which one? The kiss? Was it the kiss?
Yes, the kiss.
I was like, oh my God, Patrick Duffy, what are you doing? Like when he said, like, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with my kids, I'm gonna kiss her, and then he kissed her. And then the kid's reaction, especially the daughter, was like, I specifically wrote down, the kids weren't having it.
No.
They were not having it.
What did your family think about the hometown visit of Joan?
Oh, they just loved her. I mean, she did perfect. And I did something, and I'm going to do it now, is when we first went up to everybody, I kissed her because I wanted everybody to know
Get it out of the way, sorry.
How much I care for it. It was important to me because when you bring someone home, you want everyone to know how important that person is to you.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel great.
She was caught off guard.
Yeah.
And
it was weird.
Yeah.
It was
and
weird.
You flash to the son, Nick, who I thought was pretty cute. He looked just like he was glaring, like a dead-eyed glare. And the daughter looked very uncomfortable.
I felt bad for her. I thought she doesn't want to be on television because they kept showing her in the audience, like, picture in picture. And I'm like, this girl does not want to be on TV. Leave her alone. As I said before, this has to be very tough to have a parent that just died. And this is the only person you've ever seen your parent be with for your entire life. For your entire life. That's all they've ever known. That's all they've ever seen. So that had to be such a weird moment to see their mom, who they probably never saw date, kiss this random stranger who said he loved her.
Yeah,
my dad just said that recently, dude, back off. So I think there were a lot of emotions happening there.
I think he was totally trying to stake his claim on Joan and telling the kids, listen, guys, I have her now. Because I thought that was pretty insensitive of him to do. I mean, they only lost their dad a few years ago. And I know people who maybe aren't familiar with that, but losing a parent, like that's not that long ago.
It's not that long.
So there's still going to be emotions running high. I mean, look, even Joan herself was having issues and moving on. So to assume that the kids were so much further along on their grieving journey and were totally okay with this was pretty arrogant of Chock to think, well, and again, I saw that as him marking his territory.
It felt weird to me. At one point we see the son speak to Chock, and I think at first he's like, nah, but I think he was actually won over because Chock did say, I don't want to replace your dad. I'm not here to do this. I just want to make your mom happy. So I think by him pivoting to say that made the son kind of relax some.
Yeah.
But we never got to see him and the daughter talk. Never saw that conversation. Don't know what happened.
I got the feeling from the daughter is that she is still maybe
grieving.
Yeah, she's still heavily in it.
Yes, so, she's still in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she showed up as a very supportive person, but I think inside she had a lot going on. So
yeah, I think she was grieving. That was tough, but that happened. Overall, I think Joan was happy with it, and then for some reason we see Chock and Joan again.
Yeah,
I'm watching this episode and I was like, clearly nothing happened because it's only like it's a short episode.
Yeah,
they keep having them date. I'm like, come on, guys, go to guy. They go to his bungalow which I found a note. He apologized because he said, I'm sorry I showed too much emotion earlier. I'm like thinking, what happened? We didn't get to see it as a viewer, but something must have happened where he showed emotion and we missed it.
They did show it.
What was it?
Were you fast forwarding?
No, I wasn't. What was the emotion?
I do want to tell you, I did not fill out the application. My daughter did. And she goes, Dad, it's going to be Joan. And she goes, she is the perfect woman for you. And I'm telling you, that's what happened.
Aww. To me, it sounded fake.
Oh my God, I think I missed it. Oh my God.
He's in the middle of talking about how much she means to him, and he's like starts breaking down and getting choked up. And
oh my goodness, I don't know.
It just
totally missed that. That's what he was talking about?
Rewatch.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know. It seemed planned to me. It was almost like someone was off screen going, go. And he was like, oh.
I'm going to give Chock the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving him a pass because his mom died during the taping. Like, he was fresh in it. If your mom dies while you're taping a reality show, then you have to go back to the reality show. Your emotions are everywhere. That's his mom. And he clearly loved her and that happened. And I know that these shows are a very high stress situation, but I'm giving him a pass. His mom died. There's a lot of crap happening to him. Well, I don't know.
To be fair, as I mentioned that Joan's kids were still in it, yes, Chock is still in it, but there's something about the way he presents himself and speaks and acts that to me seems disingenuous. So I don't know. I guess, but go ahead.
I don't know. Either way, he writes her a very nice note, and then he's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get you a place in New York City or get us a place in New York City.
Yeah.
I was very confused. I guess it was a promise. She was very excited, and he tells her, at least what I do like about him is he's very direct with his feelings and what he wants. He's a man that tells you exactly what he wants to do. He's very straightforward.
Yeah.
He says, I want to marry you. I love you. I want to buy a place with you in New York. And I think she likes that because he's
Yeah.
not making her guess. He's being very direct, and I think she appreciates that.
She seems to be comfortable having a partner who's taking control.
Yes, she likes that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Taking the initiative, taking control. I feel as if the offer to buy a place for them in New York, whatever that means. I don't know if they mean New York City. I don't know if
Their
they mean
love shack. I don't know what it
5
meant.
hours into New York
Yeah.
State up by Albany.
Yeah.
I don't know where exactly. But I felt like the offer seemed like he was sweetening the pot. It's like, hey, if you go with me, look what I can give you.
Yeah.
Or to be fair, just showing he could provide for her, and that made her feel more safe. And
That's possible. Yeah.
it just was interesting that right after that, she has this revelation that, oh, my heart is his.
I don't know, man. I felt all I know is that we go see her with Guy, and I thought, man, Guy, I know it's about to happen. And Guy is a very, I felt so bad for him because he seems like a very emotional person.
Yeah.
Which is his right. And like right when she walked in and started that conversation, I was like, oh, please be gentle. And she was very gentle with him. And I liked as she pointed out, she's like, I didn't want to have you go meet my family, go to this thing. My heart's with somebody else, and I'm sorry. She was very gentle and laid it out, and for that I appreciate, but man, I felt it for Guy.
My heart belongs to somebody else. And I care about you so, so, so much. And I know we talked about being seen. I saw you at every rose ceremony. I saw you on every date. I care so much about you. My heart belongs to somebody else now. And instead of putting you through meeting my family and showing up, on the last day, I wanted to spare you all of that because I care so much about you. I'm so sorry. I did not want to hurt you. I swear I didn't. This is the last thing I wanted. I am so sorry.
Guy cried pretty hard. I didn't expect, I knew he'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
I guess I still didn't understand just how in love, he was with her.
Yeah,
And
I know.
he even mentioned that, like, I was looking forward to meeting your family because afterwards, right after I was going to propose. And
Yeah.
again, like, it's funny because, like, if someone told me that, I'd be like, oh my God, And she just took everything he said matter of factly. She didn't overreact to anything to make him maybe feel like, boy, you're out of your mind. She was very graceful, very, that's why I'm surprised she's not a therapist or has some kind of
she's
training.
great. Yeah.
Because she did handle it all very well, hugged him. So I felt
Very well.
I felt bad for Guy. Even though we did hear some things afterwards about him that, may or may not be accurate.
We don't know the full story. Yeah. I felt bad for him. Of course, we cut to him watching. We need a rule. I'm tired of people having to watch themselves get their heart broken. I don't want to see it. It's gross. Let's not do it anymore. He sits down with Jesse and they go through the motions again. Then finally Joan comes out, and I appreciate that they hug again. They seem like they're happy to see each other. It was very nice. It was very nice.
It was. And that's when, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, Joan assured Guy that, he wouldn't have gotten as far as he had if it wasn't that she really did have feelings for him. She was getting there. Time was not on their side, which still kind of didn't sit well with me. Because here's the thing. I would love to see this show, even though it would be way too many episodes for us to watch or recap. But I'd love for it to go on for like 3 months and then No, and then, well, maybe behind the scenes 3 months, and we only get to see a lot of edited versions of it,
Yeah.
but just to see what would be the different outcome, or would it be the
Hmm.
same, you know?
I don't think it would have been Guy. It wouldn't have been Guy. I think it maybe could have been Jonathan, for example. But I don't think it would have been Guy. But
You think?
I don't think so. I never kind of felt her side with Guy, but I felt her side when she was with other people. Eventually, Chock and Joan, he proposes, she accepts, she
Yeah.
says, I love you. He says, I love you. Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
I am so absolutely happy to be in your life and that you're in mine. We've had a magical journey. It's just been absolutely incredible. And you're the most giving, selfless woman I've ever met in my life. As we look forward, too, we do need to look back. And we know about John and Kathy. And I give you my word that I'll honor him by loving you every day. That is the most important thing to me. And Joan, you will never be invisible to me. I'm going to tell you that I love you every day. I promise that. And I look into those gorgeous eyes, and I just can't believe this is happening. Because I still think I'm in a dream, and I'm just going to wake up. But Joan, I love you. And I want you to be in my life.
From our first date in Disneyland, I thought I saw a future with you. And it's the first time that I actually had pictured a future with anybody else in a really long time. And then tragedy hit your family and your mom passed away and you had to leave. That I wanted you to go. But I was really worried that you wouldn't make it back. And that's when I realized that I couldn't do this journey without you. You made me feel comfortable. You made me feel safe. I felt like we could take care of each other and I knew you would never hurt me. And that's when I started picturing our future a little more vividly. We are living proof that no matter what life throws at you, that there is still hope, even at our age. I waited till this moment in this amazing location to tell you that I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Thank you.
I want to wake up next to you in the morning and I want to kiss you when I go to bed at night.
I do love you.
I love you.
I have a question for you. I've been waiting forever to do this.
Oh my God.
Joan, will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you. Oh my God.
I love you so much.
We're engaged!
First of all, I did not like that they got engaged. I don't like that. At this day and age, man, I'm sorry. I'm past the point of people having to get engaged. Let's cut that shit out. I'm sorry. I do not want to teach little girls that's the goal in life after a month of dating some random guy. Just like say I found somebody to date long term, potentially. They seem like they love each other. I did not want them to be engaged.
Yeah. That's well said. I feel as if the philosophy or the beliefs behind the premise of the show are outdated.
Yes.
So, but we still keep coming back for more. But yeah, I would
I
love
know.
for them to change the end game.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, okay, if not for all of the shows, at least for the golden ones,
At least for the golden one.
because a lot of these people are coming out of really long-term relationships and dealing with lost loved ones. So yeah, that pressure
And that would be
shouldn't be on.
so shocking. Even if you're a child in your 20s or 30s, I don't know how old her children are, but to have their dad die a couple years ago and then their mom get engaged, that would be shocking and very painful to have to go through.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Agreed. How did Joan even get on Golden Bachelor? Did one of her kids sign her up?
I don't remember. I have no idea. It's
Okay.
possible.
Because she
Maybe
has,
they're like, oh, do this to get out of the, whatever, your funk. Maybe they never thought it would go this far.
yeah,
Like
maybe.
Pascal, he's like, what am I doing here? Why am I in the final three?
Yeah, I mean, he was very honest about things.
Yeah.
I would love to see him do some kind of like culture show, like travel
Oh,
show.
yeah.
I'd love to
I
see
would
Pascal
love
do a
his travel
travel.
show.
Oh my God.
A
Oh,
food and wine show, it'd be fantastic.
oh yeah.
It's a rooster or it's a chicken? Ça c'est le coq. C'est quoi la c'est la crête, c'est un coq. That's a coq.
Either way, it ends with a lot of promotion. We got a promotion for like Disney World. We got a promotion for, was it basketball or something, or other football, some sports
College
thing.
football game.
And then we got another thing for Grant season. Too much stuff was happening at the end. I was like, guys, come on. Come on. It's too much for me.
Yeah, the thing with Grant, I watched the teaser for because his season, he's the Bachelor, and his season
Yeah.
begins in January, which I believe we're not covering.
We're not doing that. No, I
Not to do
can't.
that.
No.
I don't like to see women at their
Being
worst.
catty. No.
Yeah.
No.
Boy, did that look like a dumpster fire.
Next Bachelor, Grant.
And if I steal you
Again? I didn't even talk to him yet. You've talked to him 4 times today. You want to talk about aggressive? You're
I
aggressive.
shot my shot.
Everybody just really wants Grant. I will kick her ass. I'm not kidding you.
The golden ones, they're always building these nice relationships. Even on the Golden Bachelor, it was that way, the Golden Bachelorette. So it's tough to go from these nice building of relationships to seeing the cattiness. It's like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't want to see it.
So at this point, 2 questions. 1, do you think Joan and Chock will make it to the altar? And 2, who do you think is going to be the next Golden Bachelor?
I don't know if they're going to make it to the altar. I feel like they are smarter. She seems like she takes her time with things. I don't think she's going to rush it. Her kids are obviously still shocked. I don't see them rushing to get married in the next 2 months. I see that taking time. So I see that relationship potentially working out. The next Golden Bachelor, I don't know. All the good ones are taken. I don't know. So that's
Right.
that I don't know now at this point.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Pascal because I don't expect him to get engaged. I don't want to see him get engaged, but I'd love to just see him just date. I think it'd be fun.
I would too. Oh my, I would too.
Yeah, it'd be a blast.
Yeah, that's a good question because Jonathan, as we know from the Men Tell All, is in a relationship.
Yep.
And there's been rumors about Mark
In a
being
relationship,
involved with
yes.
someone.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
true. Yep, exactly.
So I think they might
don't
just
know.
go and pick someone new. I don't know if they're going to pick anybody from that season.
I don't know. There are still some good guys that people like, so I don't know who they would pick. But maybe they're gonna wait to see if those relationships don't work out that are currently happening.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with you that Joan
Yeah.
and Chock will probably stay engaged for a long time. What I did think was interesting is when Jesse said to them, "We have a surprise for you." I was thinking, "Oh no, are they going to offer to do a big
Don't get married.
like
Yeah, on
Teresa
TV.
and Gary?" And it was just a trip for their families to go to
Disneyland,
Disney.
yeah.
I was like, they learned their lesson. Now it's like,
They
we
learned
just give them
lesson,
a
yeah.
trip.
Yeah, just give them a trip. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Well, that's all we got for you. Thanks to everyone who has spent time watching our Golden Bachelorette recaps. Special shout out to #1 fan Trudy and to my friend Debbie. Bye for now. Stay golden, friends.